recording.
I'm back in. Still can't do push to talk.
All right, Paul, we're going in.
Quiet.
Paul?
Okay.
Well, hello all to the 26th multiplayer live stream. Today, we hopefully will get a better chance at testing some of the interactions. Some minor graphical updates, mostly behind-the-scenes stuff, although I think there's some things that Matt may wish to show off. And without further ado, I will get the main server up and running.
Is anyone else able to see the stream? I'm having a problem with it.
There we go, it just came up. Hold on.
I gotta do that with this anyway. All right. So the server is up.
The stream is working too, so it's good.
Excuse me?
The stream sounds nice. It's working.
Okay, fair enough. I don't think I got a chance to rehook up my joystick, so it may be kind of whacked, but we'll see what happens. So, should we go straight into the testing? Do we divide into two different teams and see where it goes, or do we wish to sort of walk through certain things?
What's our to walk through today?
Well, you'll be happy to know there's actually a restriction now on where you place buildings. And there's a graphical thing there to show you that. Hopefully, we'll go more than a half hour this time, because things won't eat themselves. And so that means we should be doing some good exploring on Adam's Tech Web. Meaning building ships, going against each other. The fleet movement stuff should be working a little bit more than it was, which isn't saying much, but so should I just go in and show you what's new, then we'll exit back out and come back in and we'll decide what to do? Is that the better answer?
That works. Okay, so you have to give me just another minute. I'm starting up the game.
Alright.
I had a little bit of a choppy start, so I'm... But I double-checked the stream also. Yep, second confirm sounds good. I actually hear Ernest better on the stream than in my headphones.
There you go. So Ernest, if you select the ship.
Okay, much smoother start.
Yeah, I tried to earlier, but it actually gave me the actual warning saying you'd have to select the scenario first, and I didn't pay attention that you selected it. So that works now.
Yep.
20 more seconds.
Yeah, a lot of the other stuff is coming together. I mean, even this screen will eventually get a new coat of paint, if you will.
Ready.
Alright. Ernest, are you ready?
Yeah.
Ogre, you coming in?
There you go. Ogre's here. Well, he's here now. He's got to select something now. Yeah, Matt.
That's my phone.
Yeah. Did you select the team, Ogre? Oh, there you
go. The warning popped up, so that's good.
Yeah, scare that. Yeah, we still have to do the thing for the server, Matt. Where's the last ready thing is still reflecting.
Gotcha.
But other than that, oh, there's Paul. We're right about to start. Okay. So we're all on the same side, just for right a second. And I forgot my acceleration turned on. So I guess that solves the fact whether or not my joystick's properly hooked up or not. So, at least from Matt, do you want to go over your changes, or should we go over my changes, or what should we do first?
Your thing, I think your thing is much more interesting.
All right. So those of you who are interested, hit F11 or go to the Omniball. Either one works. Now the big thing here is here. I'll start building the initial building, which is no.
I was just waiting to see if you wanted me to do that or not. I had one ready.
Well, if you want, Jordan.
Uh-huh.
Now I still think this ends up causing a problem, but as long as it's not executed, I think it's okay. Actually, let me demo it first, and then you do it. How's that? That way, if there is still a problem, we don't just kill the stream.
Okay.
All right. So when you first put down a building and there's nothing around, it just acts as it was before. So that's nothing new in this case. Now the key difference is that now when I go in here and I say build, hey, I want to build a research facility, let's say. Now we have a very different situation where you can see the edge of what's considered the installation radius, which is in green. Let me zoom out so I show that. And then you have a radius on where you can build. And of course I built an interesting spot. Now I'm still having problems with some of the detection of the terrain because that's the way my life runs. But if you get something too close, it won't let you actually place it. But otherwise, it will. Let's see if that helps any. You can actually place it and you can see what the radius is. Right now, there's a problem with the detection of the surface. Is why the radius is being displayed much higher than it would normally be. But mathematically, it's still working correctly. So let me put the thing down here. Let's see if I can zoom in and get a little nicer here. So I'll build a second one and see what we get. Of course it's demoing, and then of course it's going to be that thing. So Jordan, I'd like you to go in and see what you notice as a difference.
I mean, I was watching you do all that. I obviously can't see when you're holding an icon. I've been sitting here because I was about to place a reactor, but I was waiting for your go-ahead. So I'm sitting here unable to cancel the reactor placement command, just waiting for you to be done.
No, you should be able to cancel it. You just click on the cancel button.
The cancel orders?
Yeah. Or if you re-click on the building order, it'll toggle back off again. But why don't you give it a shot?
Okay. Build me another research.
And obviously it's moving because Jordan did this. Now what's interesting is if we had a turret, for example, that would fit physically between these different sizes, it will actually fit between the circles. So what you see is what you get. I'm still just working on the cursor detecting the terrain problem that we've been having. It's better than it was, but it's not fixed 100%.
I think we need to tone down the light, the luminosity of the build beam just a little bit.
Okay.
I can see on the live stream it's not so bad, but on my screen I can barely actually see the new building animation for the brightness of the beam.
Fair enough.
Same here. I only see just a giant bright white light, and then a building shows up after the light turns off.
Alright.
But on the live stream, I can see what's going on, so it's really weird.
I mean, it's just the way it's set up based on Arthur's computer, which makes sense. It's where it's tested.
Yeah, no, that's 100% kind of the problem, I guess. How's it look on the, when you're actually seeing it in like, in your spaceship kind of thing? Here, why don't you build either another reactor or another thing? Oh, did we want to go, Matt, did you want to demonstrate your asset screen stuff first? And then we'll actually go into the actual game part of it?
If you want, I wasn't able to fix the gauge.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you want to wait on that.
Is that going to call crashy, or it just doesn't work?
Shouldn't crash, it just looks odd.
Okay. As long as it's functional.
Yes, the crash I fixed.
Okay. Now, I'm watching it here, and the luminosity's not that bad, but then again, I'm on a side angle. I mean, I can always tone it down if people really want me to. That's not just, it's just an arbitrary number, but, you know.
The screen... Okay, I thought it was frozen. I think I just had a weird encounter when switching from the sim screen to the nav screen while the build animation was mid-go.
Okay.
Now that build
That's
animation
easy.
actually took a while to finish after the light turned off. It was still a grid pattern.
Odd. Let's test again.
Well, the problem is that the more you test, the less you have in your... Okay, well, there you go. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
Now I
so
see
for
it
me,
fine.
like,
Mhm.
I can see the grid pattern and a really bright light, and when I like get real close to it, I can see the build animation, but it's just incredibly bright.
Yeah, right now the light has turned off, and then
Yeah.
the grid pattern was still there for a little bit.
Yeah, that is what I saw too.
Okay, well, that might be a server thing. On the server, at least from the live stream, it runs perfectly fine, so that's why I never noticed.
I mean, that makes sense.
If people are having that on the client end, then that's something I have to look into. We should no longer have those ghost flares, by the way, for you, Ernest. I think we fixed that last time.
Cool.
You know, so that's a thing. Um,
Arthur, I've been systematically getting closer as things have been being built. There's a certain point at which you cannot see the grid. It's just a bright white light. But yeah, as you get closer in, you can kind of start seeing the grid all of a sudden. At least on
okay,
the client end. So, or it might be angle that you're looking at it at, or distance you're looking at it from.
could you build another beam? Yeah, or build another beam. Build another a building, so I can actually. I want to see if we can witness this.
I mean, at this point, I'll be building buildings pretty much constantly. So yeah.
Okay.
My
Although
preference is
whoever's the War
warehouse
Master should
solo.
make sure Jordan actually has the money to do this.
That would be
Yeah,
Matt.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah. I mean, at least from my end, it looks fine. I'm not saying it doesn't look bad from other people's perspectives, because I realize that does happen.
Your screen looks way better than what I see. So.
Alright. Then what we're going to have to do is, Matt, under testing, either you're going to have to be the server, or the laptop's going to have to be the server, and I have to see what the clients are seeing, because obviously as the server I'm not seeing it.
Okay, this is for the building animation?
Yeah. I mean, they're saying it's basically whiting out for them. And it's just not for me at all.
Yeah,
like,
your
okay,
animation's so much nicer.
I'm at a distance, so now that I know exactly what I'm looking for,
Alright, let me get a distance.
there are there are spots where I can see it
Okay.
with the grid, and then
Now, are you in the nav screen or you're in the sim screen?
I'm in my ship looking.
So you're in the sim screen. Okay.
Both screens have the same, because I tried the nav screen as well first. They both look the same.
Well, they should look the same. I'm just trying. I have, as a developer, I got to narrow it down because this is how these things work.
Yeah, I know, I'm just letting you know that they're the same on both screens. So.
That's
Okay.
not where I told that to go. Oh, okay, it's polling stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's got to pull stuff because you're to that
I
point.
thought it was about to put a turret in a spot that should absolutely have been invalid. I'm like, that's gonna mess Arthur's test up. No, okay, that is where I told it to go.
Yeah, scary that. I am working on the placement issues. I really, really am. But yeah, at least you can't put them on top of each other anymore.
True.
It will not let you. That's a big thing.
The main problem is that like the radius of the circle is subjective based on, how far up my view is, which doesn't make any sense.
It's a bug because it's not hitting the ground properly, and that's the problem. And so yeah. And of course, this didn't happen during my testing. It's only happening now. So yay. Because it was actually being pretty spot on. I mean, Matt and I were playing with that yesterday, and it was doing pretty well actually. I gotta sneeze. Pardon me.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the whole whiteout thing. I've got a pretty decent distance. Maybe it's a bigger building.
Well, here comes the bigger building.
Every single model did the same thing.
Okay, so describe it to me. It's supposed to have a white,
It's
yellowish
just like
bottom.
It's just
It's
like the
white.
white
It's
light.
all white.
The white light of the of the build beam is set way too high.
It's like it's over blooming.
Is there any way you took a picture of it last time? Is there a way you can do it this time?
Sure, but right now it's another different effect. We got a strobing action going
That's
on.
because that's
I'm out
a
of
bug
money.
in the thing because you're out of
Okay.
money.
All right, out of money.
Give it a minute. It's gonna go build a factory in a sec, and you should have plenty of time while it builds a factory. But also, like, yeah, the same as Ernest said, I'm getting the also after the build I'm pretty sure the building is done, but the animation tends to stop at about half built, and then after a few seconds it just finishes.
That might end up being something separate in the sense of the effects being synced up properly with the server, which I
That
guess it
sounds
may
right.
not be. Which is why I'm seeing it perfectly fine on the server end, but you guys are getting the kill before it's supposed to be.
Right.
If you know what I mean. But it shouldn't be off by more than a few milliseconds, so I don't understand why you'd actually see it past that. But it might be... Could someone give Jordan some money?
Yes, I just did. Apparently it wasn't enough.
So, Jordan, cancel
Yeah, I think
the...
the builder bot got stuck on the idea that I don't have enough ores because I currently
I
have
think so.
a lot of.
It does. So actually, you should be able to move it correctly. Actually, click on the builder bot and tell it to move using your right mouse button somewhere just outside the city, or just a little bit. It should actually work. It will no longer. That's the other big fix. Things will no longer go on a journey unless you really want them to. Let's see. There's the builder bot. So I presume you just told it to go outside the city.
Yeah.
And it
Nice,
stopped.
and it didn't try to slam into the ground either.
Yes, that's the other thing I fixed. Is so now if you order the bots around, so for example, if I go into, I wonder how this will actually work. If I go into here and I grab, all right, just for amusement value, because everybody go to the nav screen so I can control their people. All right, so I can drag all these guys and I can tell them just to go over here, just outside the city, and all the ones that actually complied, all the ships are now converging on that spot in the terrain. Go figure. Command's actually working in the RTS screen. Goes, amazing, huh?
You just kind of set an arbitrary height for now, huh?
Right now it's like 300 feet, but at this point it's because I'm up too high.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than hit the ground.
Yeah.
To start. I'm gonna tell the builder bot to build that factory.
So I ordered somebody else. So now you can tell the. Now what's interesting is if you go right back to the sim screen, we're all kind of next to each other. Yes, we're all hugging.
We're hugging Arthur to tell him that it'll be okay.
Yeah, something like that. So Ernest, could you get your phone out because it's about to build again, and so you can see what. All right. So now it's grabbing the RMs as it should. All right. And now it's thinking about going over there-ish and building this thing, which is, I guess, this factory.
As soon as it starts building, I record a little video.
Okay. So for me, it looks... well, we already know that. That looks appropriate, but... It's very nice and smooth. It's got a little antenna there. The antenna's done, and it'll be finished building. Poink.
Now that time it didn't have the after effect of the grid image.
Oh, it does. It's just very small. It's just only on like a little antenna.
I wasn't close enough.
Yeah.
It was a very little part of it.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the way that the thing goes, oh, there's a height thing, so there's an antenna, so it considers the antenna build the same timing as the rest of it. So we either decide that antennas aren't important or not. You know, same thing happens with the reactors because they have a lot of big antenna stuff going on.
I put it on Facebook on the Messenger.
All right, I'll have to look at it later. But yeah, I mean, it's right. I can't fix it right this second anyway. But I'll look at it later and see what the world's going on. So, Jordan, since you're the RTS person, or at least usually the ones building cities and such, what do you think of the control difference that they actually freaking work for once?
I mean, as a result of this, things are also being placed where I told them to be with a much greater accuracy than before.
It's still not perfect. I'm very upset at that. You have no idea how upset I am with that. But it's far better than what
True,
it
but
was.
like the biggest pain up to now was the fact that like you would see, oh yeah, things we placed on top of each other. Never once at any point have I ever actually told it to put one thing on top of another. Usually I tell things to be a big distance apart, and it goes, but now because it knows it cannot do that, it actually seems to be also making it, as a side effect, much closer to where I told it to be.
Yeah.
Because it can't put it on top.
So regardless of graphical glitching, internally it does mathematical checks and won't let you do it. So hopefully this layout of the city is actually what you requested at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
I know. Like I said, it's not perfect yet, and I'm not happy about that fact, and I'm still working on it, but it came to a certain point, it's like I can't keep working on this problem, because the resolve I come up with just doesn't quite do it. So, alright, so well, that means that fleet stuff works, because you saw me grab all of you and have you off go on a little journey outside the city, rather than going across the planet.
Right.
I finally figured out why that happened. You know, the code was right. It's just a matter of us converting from doubles to floats, and yeah, so it interpreted the numbers really wackily, as you might well imagine when you do that, because it was a structure pointer issue. But not that anybody probably gets that point. But yeah, so yeah, no, it looks good. Should we exit the game, come back in, and divide up the teams and see what we get?
Yep.
Or do you want to do it against AI?
Nah. Team it.
What was that?
Let's play teams.
All right, teams. All right. Everybody else okay with this?
Sure.
Yep.
Well, what are the teams?
Well, that's a good question. We can determine that. All right, I'm going to exit out. I'm going to kill the server. But I think performance-wise, it's working. Okay, sure. To the point of killing each other.
Oh, I just had to take Jordan out before I left.
Fair enough. It's a thing.
I'm already gone, Ernest. You can't kill me
Okay,
if I
good.
left.
Yeah. All right. So that being the case, I will exit out, and we will come back in, and then we'll cha-cha. Okay. Well, who is familiar enough with building the cities enough that they want to do the city building? So Jordan
You and
obviously is.
You and
Obviously.
Jordan.
So
that
what?
ogre?
I said you and Jordan.
All right. Well, then that makes sense as far as opposite teams go.
Who wants to be the team captains?
Yeah, that's the War Master stuff. So that's
I'll be a war master on one of them.
all right. All right, server's up, by the way. All right. Keep in mind, I still forgot all about that. I have to put in Adam's dummy ship that he created, so that you have no weapons. You just sort of run into each other. That's the true test of things, is you shouldn't be doing anything with, built-in stuff, if you will. So,
So maybe we make our little house rule right now that says you may not, under any circumstances, use your starting ships in combat.
yes, and maybe the first thing you do once you get a new ship is to kill your old ship. It's probably not a bad idea. And
I
then
see you put in can't be two war masters on the same team now. That's pretty nice.
that's been there for a while, and that's the Matt's credit. But
That
yes,
works.
What did I do?
you actually made sure you can't have two War Masters on the same team.
Oh, yes. I did do that.
Yes. So, I guess myself and Matt, and then Jordan and Ernest so far. I guess Ogre's on my team because he's picked Alpha, but that's up to him. Adam's on Beta, and Paul is on Beta. So how many people we have? 7?
7.
All right.
So 3 on 4.
So 3 and 4. Then that's where we go.
3 on 4 coders on one team.
The coders versus the non-coders. Dun dun dun. So like
Find out that Arthur wrote into the game, if player equals Jordan, then lose.
You wish. Okay. All right, Matt, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Well, you gotta mark yourself as such. There you go.
So I do.
All right, then we'll start. Okay. So we see them over there. I will start the building process. I suggest that those who are waiting, I guess, start and get like a basic ship together in the Quick Designer. Now it's going to be a little bit for me to get up to the point where we have a factory, but so what are everybody's requests? Do they want shields, pulse weapons, things of that nature? Are we holding out, hoping to hit tier 1 or what?
One tiny problem.
Okay.
In my screen, which one? What screen is this? F10. The in the resource screen, the asset screen.
Asset screen, yes, I'm looking.
I only see myself.
Really? Who else is on Ernest's side?
Me
Jordan,
and Paul and Adam.
Yep.
All right, could you go in the asset screen and validate what he just said?
I see honor cards. I tell them
Paul or
that.
Adam, please, because I'm, building.
All
Oop,
right.
I'm actually in the ship designer, sorry.
All right, one moment. We will come verify in a sec.
Ernest, did you click the plus icon?
To open up.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, I appear to have broken that this morning. I just realized that. So you can still access everything through the other buttons on the purple bar. But the plus sign on the purple bar, on the corporation bar, is not working correctly.
So I also was having to think, I fixed it by clicking personnel to make them all disappear and then hitting it again and now everyone's back.
Yes,
Personnel,
that does
hold on,
work. Sorry about that.
There we go. No, actually, it started that way. I didn't push anything yet. I just opened the window, and it only had me in there.
Yeah,
I was
no,
pushing the plus button.
it's you turn personnel, you make them all disappear, and you hit it again.
Yeah,
Now
I
everyone's
got
back.
it. We're good.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing.
I guess
Sorry
for
about that. That's what I get for trying to fix a problem that's been bothering Arthur, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Oh, actually, here's the updated research screen. It's not in its final form. We're going to tighten up some of the lines, but oh, so I see someone's been researching there. That's good.
Yep.
So this is kind of the direction the graphics are going, as far as the outlines go, sort of like that. Paul,
Yes.
do you see what I mean by how big the gap is between the lines and the colored parts?
Yes, I see that. It's more space than for the green part. You mean, right? Or for all
Yeah,
of
for the
them?
green part, for all of them actually.
All right, I'll tighten that up a bit.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, look at the asset screen in comparison. Here, I'll go there. And you can see how nice and tight these lines are, where it's pinstripe right next to pinstripe, and even pinstripe right up next to the color, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so it gives it a nice, clean, consistent look. So the general parts you have correct, but the spacing's not. That's what I was trying to show you before.
That'll be a quick little edit and export. I'll have that done like
We have a basic beam ship
tonight.
design.
Done.
Okay. When I'm going for weapons, you prefer autocannons or missiles?
Let's start with missiles.
Okay.
Okay, Arthur,
I'm
you
gonna do
have all the
shields
basic
first,
buildings.
Also, yay, the factory
obviously
screen
first we do
icon
our
is
buildings, obviously. But...
is upright.
All right. Yes, Matt fixed that, actually. And like people, like I said, try to talk one at a time because you know how this goes.
Fortunately, we're 2 teams right now doing 2 different sets of tactics.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Alright. Matt, since you seem to be doing research, you want to get me some turrets?
You should have turrets now, actually.
Okay.
War Master Ernest, can you assign me the money?
You should have almost all the money.
I didn't even think of that because I actually am now mining because I don't have the money either. Did you redistribute? You didn't.
I will do that now.
Yeah.
Dad,
Yeah,
can I
George,
borrow some
you-
money?
You
Something
should be
like
getting
that.
78% of the mining resources.
Oh, interestingly enough, the asset screen is still showing what the builder bot is actually doing versus, so it's showing the mining resources as well as the RM resources that it has in the asset screen.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the mine. It's actually, I mean, you can see it on the live stream.
Alright, Wicked B team. I'm getting a couple more reactors, then you're gonna get your factory soon. And we now have missiles and shields. Or that we will in 5 seconds.
Well, Matt, you got to keep up with the Joneses there. But do you see how it's showing the conversion?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. They start to shoot up. Yeah.
So ad infinitum is essentially a basic cheap beam ship.
Gotcha.
So that one should be actually pretty quick to pop out.
Alright, I'm gonna build one more reactor, then you're gonna get a factory, then I'm gonna start doing Turret City.
All right. So it's finally building the building. All right. So I assume my priority is to kick out a factory.
Probably.
Probably need to kick out something to keep them from hitting us.
Yep. No, you're not wrong. I'm gonna put it behind the things here. It's annoying. All that was really running before, and now it's just going. It's like, damn it. Yeah, we don't have enough resources yet. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Oh great, I can't really see the installation anymore for the...
Excuse me?
There it is. Installations was hit. Cool, now I can keep track of the power. As it's green stuff. Fine.
Yeah, we're significantly out of power here on our side. That's part of the problem.
Factory's up, guys. Have fun.
Is there a feasible ship that's been designed?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He put together one, so you can do something. You also have the ability now to put together ships with shields and missiles.
Yeah, don't do the one I just put together. 96,000.
All right, Matt. I desperately need the power from the.
I'm gonna kick out another builder bot real quick.
Yeah, we need the resources being done, and we don't have it because it's being dumped into research. So I'm going to turn off the research buildings right now so we get more power into the other stuff.
All right, so ad infinitum is basically a cheapo beam ship. Penetrating force is basically a missile gunboat. Not much armor, but it's got lots of missiles.
Which one is the armor weaponless ship?
There is no weaponless ship.
Oh, okay.
We haven't put it in the game yet. Normally we should put it in first thing, but that didn't happen that way. Oh, factory's up, by the way. Derpa derpa.
So foobar is one we don't want to make.
Yeah, I don't know how to make anything as cheap as you did. I'm working on it right now.
I don't understand this. This is all working. This is so annoying.
I dragged and dropped a penetrating force to a factory queue, and it's just sitting there.
Might not have any money.
You might not have any money.
There is now a second factory.
So I see someone made the money. Holy, wow.
Yeah.
32,000? What'd you do with this? What is in
I
here?
don't know.
If you change to halls, it gets really expensive. That's what I'm noticing right now.
Oh my effing. What the hell's in this?
2 Orion Mark 1s and the default.
Space 2700. Though that's one of the reasons why it's so big.
It probably has a lot of armor. That's why. It probably has 10 thickness armor, which generates basically a lot of space.
Power in 1100. This got 2 beam weapons.
So is that what makes the cost so expensive? There's a lot of armor?
Yeah.
I have to figure out how I can adjust that then correctly.
Yeah, I'm gonna boost our economy so we can start getting some more money.
Yeah, I don't know who designed that, but try it again and then kick the armor down to something reasonable, because that's just.
Me.
Okay, yeah, the armor's
Oh
coming
my
in.
Well,
god.
in that case, Matt, I almost suspect that was intentional.
Alright, so let's do a different. Do you want to do it, or you want to do your own?
Yeah, you should probably do it. I don't know what I did to produce that.
Okay, because that's just like, holy Effenstein. So,
When you hit
alright.
the- When you hit default, it jacks the armor up to 10.
Yes, because that's the way it was originally set, and it wasn't Ray's idea. So do we have any shields or anything else like that? We're just going to do... Wow! What the hell's with the... Okay. Let's...
We'll have shields in 3 seconds.
Alright, let's do something like this then. Armor is... Yeah, let's kick that down to...
Alright, I'm gonna use my money, guys, to toss out a few ships, but feel
Just
free
do
to take them
2.
over.
Alright, that's at least a little more reasonable, but... Adam, did you change the numbers on the armor? Is that what happened?
Yep, as I said, I rebalanced them.
Okay then. So 2 thickness is normal, I guess? We'll find out.
1 to 2 thickness is normal for tier 0, yes.
Ah, okay, well that makes more sense. Okay, I can appreciate
again,
that.
Again, keep in mind, even though it currently is not implemented in the game, the current space limit that's intended for tier 0 would be 250. So if you want to get like 5 thickness armor, that's going to be the entirety of your ship.
And that's okay, I can appreciate that. Does people want a shielded ship on my side or no? You can have guns or you can have shields, you can't have both.
I guess shields. I guess guns then.
Alright, so we got guns and 1 missile launcher, how's that? So we'll try... Caesar. That's at least more reasonable at 4,200.
So have we actually produced any ships yet? Because
We are producing a couple of penetrating force. I am frozen right now. I have
I'm
crashed.
just playing with the shipbuilder right now.
Yeah,
I
there's...
crashed, but I think there should be 3 penetrating force on their way out, Adam.
I think
Alright,
one
cool.
should be ready.
Alright, did anybody else crash? Or is everybody else okay?
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm still okay. I'm
To be
in
fair, I
game.
might have been like right in the middle to drag something onto a factory queue right as something finished.
Okay. I mean, that still shouldn't do that, but, you know.
I possessed
back
a
in a
ship.
minute.
I clicked, and I think it fired something.
Excuse me?
I think I accidentally shot missiles.
I can make a joke there, I'm not going to. Okay, because it's a public stream. So,
Giggity.
Well, you know, Paul, if you get one of the ships, you want to shoot missiles, fine. Go shoot missiles at them.
that's true.
I'm unable to build an inexpensive ship. Every time I hit the 5 button, it jacks the price up to. This last one was 69.
Evidently, we have people, like, attacking. No wonder it's going crazy. We already have people attacking our base.
Ah.
So much for the thing. So we actually have to, like, actually defend.
Why isn't the turret attacking anybody?
The turret was, actually. It fired 1 missile volley and it didn't strike. Alright, now I'm frozen.
Okay. I'm sorry, I crashed again.
Okay.
I was attempting to I just got back in. I was attempting to re-enter the nav screen.
Huh. Alright.
Maybe I was being too impatient. Maybe it's my computer today. Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, I've set my team up so that I can be absent for a few minutes at this point. We've got an economy and many turrets.
Well,
And hell, there should be 1 ship coming out for each of them.
I happen to build a second builder bot because the first builder bot...
Yes, go kill their builder bot.
Yeah, I'm seeing a builder bot owned by Matt just going off into the distance.
Oh wait, sorry. Chain of command. Ernest, tell everyone to go kill their builder bot.
Go
Alright.
kill their builder bot.
Team Beta for the win. And reconnecting. That was trying to be such a rush.
Alright, is anybody else actually able to build anything? Meaning factory was?
Oh, I'm seeing some really messed up OGOs.
Yep, I think I just
And
crashed
where?
again
Factory?
right after entering.
Factory queue.
Alright. I'm paused out. I don't know what's going on.
I just crashed out again.
Okay.
Like the moment as soon as I
I
re-entered,
crashed.
it froze up and I crashed. All right, now I
Someone
think
just
you
took
might.
out their factory, it seems.
All right, at this point, I feel like you might need my logs. I'm gonna grab those.
Alright,
All right,
again,
people.
I'm paused out. Is that from... Now I crashed. And this is from reading a net file.
I just saved the ship when you crashed.
Okay. Netcom send instruct, decode stream, server maintenance. So you sent a, yeah, you sent a file, didn't you? Okay. Was somebody else also sending a file at the same time?
Let me see.
Did anybody save a design at the same time?
Not me.
All right. Well, the server's down at this point. Okay. All right. So then we got kind of Zerg rush there.
Victory for beta.
Well. All right. We got the save game 6. So we'll see where that ends up with us.
Oh, and I'm actually assembling, those logs.
Now, Matt, you were saying that there was something wacky going on in the factory screen?
Yeah, the OGTs were jumbled.
Okay. Well, then... If you record it well enough, hopefully we can address it later on. Or you can address it later on, depending.
It looked like there was a building in there that didn't have... It was messed up somehow because it was looking for the item info for the building.
Alright, so we're back in.
Alright, I will attempt to
Uh-oh.
rejoin.
That's
in a
interesting.
Save those logs.
So, as soon as I got back in, I tried to go into the nav screen, and it exploded. It was trying to display one of the ships, believe it or not. Validate display lists. It was displaying... Yeah, it was displaying one of the ships. Let me see which ship it was. The bound's all messed up. What was it trying to load? It doesn't even have it. Was this a pulse? No. What was this? Status 0. Ship type 18. What's 18? It was a missile. Why would it be 18 though? Because 18 doesn't make any sense. That means it's a freighter class missile. Doesn't work that way. That's very strange. Alright. So the missile went screwy? Let me revalidate what this is. Well, this is just corrupt. It's not. That's just kind of went crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go back one further back save. So obviously that's corrupt. Well, at least this is. We're actually testing it the way it should be played, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Are my towels done?
Alright, server ready for join?
It is now. Let's see if it blows up. Okay, that looks fine.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
How far back are we? Yeah.
This There's a lot of
Oh,
pausing
great.
going.
This again.
What?
We're back to if my mouse hovers over a building, it kicks me out to space in the nav screen. Fortunately, that's an unplayable bug. Well, I still have money, so what ships would you guys like me to pop out, Beta?
I guess penetrating force seemed pretty effective.
Okay.
Problem is, we have
Yeah,
two
Force.
things of stuff up there, but it's not actually starting to produce them. Maybe because I don't have enough money, or I don't know.
I'll try this one called Lemon Granter. Why not?
There's one out that's when we get enough money going. I like to fly.
Well, someone should actually do something, or else the builder bot is just going to go off on its own because it's getting scared off. So since that's what they're doing, you can try to chase out their building bot. Since obviously someone decided to come over to our side to do exactly this.
Except I've only got the base ship, so don't really want to do anything.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're not using a separate one. They're
What?
No?
We produced a couple ships, man.
Yeah, they're using ships they made.
a ship, but yes.
A ship's all it takes.
Uh.
Don't fucking accuse us of cheating.
So
No nav screen, but I will still build things. I am determined.
So Adam evidently somehow got his butt shot off. I don't know how that happened.
What was the key for closest friendly again? I cannot remember these keys at the
H.
moment.
H.
Alright, so we have no new ships booked yet. Okay, that's all I was looking
We have
for.
some.
I'm only seeing our existing ships, I believe.
They're hovering over the factory.
Ah, so I am at the right spot. Okay. Then those
Did
are-
someone
those
build
are-
another building?
I tried to build a reactor after your last turret finished.
Well, okay. Well, let's coordinate this so we're not just doing separate things. All right.
I
Matt?
did fly off with the right
Yes.
time recording, right?
Could be. Anything hovering over the factory is something we produced.
There were two of them that were marked Jordan, so I'm assuming those are
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they're gonna be marked for me. I ordered.
So I'm gonna build more resources. I'm gonna build another miner.
Just make sure you're not flying around a builder bot.
I'm not on left.
Somebody's moving a builder bot. Did somebody use the nav screen, or is this what's going on?
Okay.
And I
froze.
crashed.
Yeah,
That's cute.
froze.
Hey, we got our first ship out. Someone want to take that and drive these other people off?
Damn it.
Yeah, it would help if I could actually not crash when I just get next to your base.
Yeah, I had the
How
same
do you
problem,
think-
and that
how
got
do you
hit by the
possess
laser
that?
beam.
P for possess if you have it targeted.
How do I identify if anyone's actually in the ship?
Haven't put that in yet.
Yeah. You can say who owns it, but that's about it.
Alright, so if I possess something that someone else is in, will I be able to possess it or not?
You should not be able to unless I have global possession turned on, which I don't think I do.
Okay, so I'll just try and hit the key button.
Well, I just crashed.
That's not good. It should not be crashy like that, but what else is new? Now, Matt, are you crashing, or is it just because you...
I'm not crashing. I mean, I'm getting some bugs, like the landscape has disappeared.
Well, that's unfortunately typical with it, unfortunately. Now, Ogre, are you able to get back in?
I had to reload. I'm in the process of.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thankfully, it loads a lot faster for me.
Oh,
now.
nice. So I disconnected and I come back and another ship's already been shot. Cute.
And the other ship has already been shot.
Yep,
And
because I
we're
wasn't
launching.
there to pilot it, so it must have just flown over the base and gotten blown up.
I don't think we have anybody over there at your base, Adam, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I had run over there to try to scare away the builder bot.
Alright, someone's shooting at our base, by the way.
Rejoining.
Yep, that's why the
I'm
whole
looking-
system's
I don't know if
paused
this
out.
ship has any weapons.
Alright.
Either.
Crashed again.
Is it because of missiles that you're firing, or I mean, is that what's going on? Should we do a moratorium on missiles if that's what's causing the problem?
I
I don't
did
think
unleash
it-
a couple missiles too.
And crash again.
I don't think I was even firing when I crashed.
Yeah, but some of the turrets might be firing missiles. That's what I'm saying.
But I haven't crashed once yet.
There are definitely
so.
missiles in the air. I can target them
Mhm.
or something.
Oh yeah, there are definitely missiles in the air.
Missiles in the air. Da, 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 da.
Missiles in the air. Do, 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 do.
I mean, in all seriousness, that is a very serious thing of checking to see if that's what's causing the problem. Now, we do have, I did make a ship with missiles in it and that kind of thing. Has anybody else been doing the research so we can get better guns, that kind of thing?
Working on it.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have that much money. Been trying to solve that problem, but
Who loaded up 211 graders in there? Because those won't build at all.
it will go
I-
past it anyway. That's not really a problem, although you're in a different team.
Well, 69,000 points to build it.
I wrote it on because I have lots of money.
Oh, you have 69,000 points, huh?
Oh. Yeah, no one actually has anything else in the building queue. Should we try to do the next stage up thing?
Yes.
All
So
right.
I'm firing missiles at this reactor, and it does not seem to be taking damage.
Well, it's just because you're not reaching it. I'm watching it from the
I'm
thing. Your
like
missiles aren't
right
getting
here.
there. Yes, I'm
Oh.
watching the missiles now. It finally hit. I mean, I'm watching the hits now. Now it's actually doing the thing.
That is not a lot. That is not a lot of damage.
It's not supposed to be. It's T0. It's that you're not supposed to be able to just sort of take it out. You know, meaning you're supposed to be in the ship of suck. That's the point.
I mean, it's not T0. It's a ship we built.
If you're running with T0 technology, then yes, it's a T0 ship, Jordan.
I thought was our missiles T0.
Yes.
Okay. But we should, by the way, on beta team, if we want, we should have lasers too now. By the way,
It looks like you guys have chased off my builder bot again. We need more ships coming out of the system here.
I have once again crashed out or frozen.
Yeah.
Yep, crashing again. Every time I get close to the base.
You're not the only one, Adam. Don't worry. My ship is apparently disabled because of that.
The only thing I can figure is missile based. It's the only thing that makes any sense at all. Should we try again and just put a moratorium and just don't research missiles and just don't go that direction?
Sounds like a workable solution or thing to
Okay.
try.
Only because what happened before, meaning that it seemed like it was coming from missiles. Now, something just came out of the factory, I think. Let me see it there. It's not selected though. What am I missing? Okay, there is a ship immediately above the factory. I assume that it's doable. Yes. Matt, have you been still doing your thing?
I am researching autocannons and magnetic cannons at the moment.
Okay. I have no idea where the damn builder bot's going.
Rejoining. Just gonna sit back and watch, not do anything.
Alright. I don't know why. Is it because there's a...
You can't remove ships from queue right now, right?
No, you can't. Alright.
Crashed out the moment I got in.
Alright, then don't join, Paul. All you're doing is
Yeah.
hurting the rest of us.
Sorry about that. I'll just stand by.
Hey, Jordan, can you build another factory?
Build, pardon?
One more factory, please.
Sure, give me a minute. Build a bus in the middle.
Okay, you've got autocannons level 2.
Level 2 or tier
Autocannons
1?
level 2.
Oh, Mark 2, you mean?
Mark 2, yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Are we restarting, or are we
Yeah,
just
we
doing
restarting
the
or
same?
not? What are we doing?
Well, you guys gotta tell me. Are we restarting or what are we doing? Are we starting all over? Which is fine.
Okay.
And we'll
It
put a
would probably
moratorium on missiles. How
It would
about that?
probably be a good test to do a moratorium and missiles and see what happens.
Alright, so don't even research it because then turrets will get them, if you know what
Yep,
I mean.
I won't research it.
Alright. Okay, so we'll exit out. And if that was the problem, then that was the problem.
I do to say that, as a note though, when it comes to usability, the current system whereby when you enter the nav screen, it's centered around whatever ship you're last possessing, heavily discourages me from ever taking a ship over to your guys' side, because from that point onwards, once that ship was disabled, every time I enter the nav screen, I'm at your base. You know, even if I go to the research screen and back to the nav screen, I have to then move back over to my base.
Well, we should actually have like saved views. It's just right now, because, by the way, the server's up. If things get borked, that kind of unborks it. So I don't want to quite get rid of that yet, but by the same token, I do see your point.
I think I would rather the nav screen just be focused on wherever I last was focused. Maybe, you know, maybe if I go to the sim screen, then it should focus on where my ship was. But if I go to like the research screen and back to the nav screen, I want to be looking at whatever I was last looking at.
You should be. That shouldn't, I guess, maybe it
It
does
wasn't.
reset. All right, I'll think about that. All right, Paul, you coming in? Paul?
Yeah, I think I'll rejoin now, since I think the ship that I had ended up possessing was a missile ship. Maybe that was part of the problem.
Well, that's what I mean. We're gonna try this again and put a moratorium on missiles. Pulses shouldn't matter, but because they're handled differently than missiles are. So we'll wait for Paul to come in.
Relaunching. Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. So Matt, we probably should put something in there like as a queue or something like that, saying, "Okay, everybody's marked as ready," kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. I can do that.
Yeah. Maybe just for the server end, so I know, okay, I can hit the start button kind of thing. So I will get the builder bot starting on the city. So with that in mind, I guess, since Adam redid it, Matt, do you want to redo the design on the ship, but put it down to armor 1 or 2?
I can do that.
and then that way we can get something out in a reasonable period of time, I guess. Now, are you doing the research as well, or?
Yes, I will do the research.
Okay, because the factory, excuse me, blah blah blah, the reactor should be out in a few seconds, and why in single player does this work, in the multiplayer it goes crazy? I don't understand this. Meaning, when I'm placing buildings in the single player, it was all very pretty. I mean, it was all nicely, spaced and all that, and it wasn't really a problem. And then, of course, on the live stream, it's all blah, all over the place. It's like, great.
If you could make a note to fix F7, that would be nice.
Okay, what does that do?
F7 just opens up the ship builder, but you can't close it again with F7.
Ah, okay, well, that makes certain sense.
Alright, Adam, Ernest, Paul, I will let you guys know when we have some good text for our ships.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
All right, we have again ad infinitum is the basic beam design. Those should be quick to pop out.
Make a couple of those when you can, Jordan.
Oh,
All right.
Did you set my money?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
First thing I always do when I go into the game, it's always that.
Thank you, Father. I'm gonna beat that joke into the ground.
Yes, you will. I see Matt already gave me money.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did this time.
Fair enough. So how's the research going?
You'll have mines in a second.
All right. Yes, there we go.
Yep, refineries.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing in the nav screen to try to clean it up a lot in the next 2 weeks, actually. That's actually my goal for it.
Okay, you'll have turrets and factories now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting until I have enough ore to even build a refinery. Now, Jordan, in your build style, do you actually build a reactor and then 2 research centers, right?
Yes.
But then aren't you stuck having the last building you build having the mine, or at least convert ore to?
Not lately, no.
Okay.
At this point, it looks like I'm able to get all the way out to a mine, and then I think it tends to have to start gathering stuff when I start building extra reactors. That way, for my team, I'm building one more reactor, then there's gonna be a factory down. We have autocannons and shields.
All right. What I don't understand is I did a reactor, 2 research centers, a mine, and now I'm trying to do a refinery, but it has to convert the stuff for the refinery, or you don't do two research centers.
The reactor, 2 research centers, warehouse, refinery, then mine. I mean, I also have to keep in mind, like, I don't watch it the whole time. It could be that it has to do some grabbing to the mine, but mines, I understand, are pretty cheap. Alright. So guys, make some designs now if you want autocannons or shields. You're not going to get more research for a little bit because I'm working up towards the next tier of research tech, but also alongside that we get in the next tier of lasers.
All right.
For ship techs, what you've got is what you got right now, and the first factory is about to be built.
Yes, I would advise you go design some new ships. I did most of Tier 1. So we have autocannons.
Well, I got it built, so who's doing the designing?
If you guys would like, I'll use my money and queue up a few ships for us. If that's the case, what are requests?
I'm about to save one, so give me 1 second.
Okay. Myself another builder bot real quick.
Is anybody designing anything, or I gotta stop
Alright.
what I'm doing and
I'm
design
designing
something?
a new ship.
Okay.
Jordan, the ship at Doom, it's 2678 is what I'd like you to queue, please.
That
Sure.
flapper is really cheap.
One ship at
Flapper
Doom.
I did right away. I'm doing a new one now with shields and multiple weapons. It's whoa.
It's not producing that ship at Doom at all.
4
quickly.
weapons
That it's not doing it.
equals
that,
285,000.
You gotta put the armor down.
Ah, yes.
So I'm gonna try to change the default from 10 to like 2, which is like a 1-line change, but it's gotta be done.
The ship at Doom is going to take. I will be able to produce it fairly soon, but I spent some money on another factory.
Okay. I'm almost able to build it myself.
All right. Could you produce me one ad infinitum and one honor guard?
I'll do the honor.
Infinitum
I'll do
and
the
one honor guard.
Alright.
Okay,
Alright, you got
they're on
this,
the queue.
Okay.
Why is
Both
this
those
thing
are
just
fairly
not doing
cheap.
this thing?
One is basically armor, and one's armor and laser. The other is shield. The other is shields and basically autocannons.
Yeah, I'm gonna work for a bit on boosting our economy.
Jordan,
Yeah,
let me know when I can-
they're gonna Zerg rush us like I can't get out of damn another fucking.
I turned off the research labs. Hopefully that'll solve our power problem.
Jordan, let me know when I can increase our income among the players.
Let me get out another mine, another refinery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just when you're ready for the me to adjust the levels, just let me know.
Adam, your ad infinitum is produced. Your honor guard is 16 seconds.
All right. Someone should basically take the next ship that pops out. Take the honor guard, please.
All right, you can turn on the things again. By the way.
Cool.
The honor guard's done. I'm going to produce another ad infinitum just so we have more things.
Alright, I'll take the honor guard if I can find it.
Yeah, tell me how that works. Says no armor and basically minimal shields.
All right, they're already attacking us at this point. Would someone be so kind as to attack them, please?
Yes, come on over. The water's fine.
I would, but I don't. I only have the ship I started in.
Well,
You're producing another ad infinitum. 10 seconds. I guess that'll be for you, Paul.
all right, you can't do an Doom with just 44,000 cost there. That's just not practical. Why is that ridiculously high?
Someone forgot to turn down the shields.
I have multiple
the
weapons
armor.
in it. Oh, do we have to turn down the shields as well
Yes.
as the armor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson 3 times.
All right, Ogre,
you can
a
rebalance
ship
the
just
money.
popped out, or will be popping out very soon.
Alright.
That's just going to be just a standard whatever. Okay. Cause someone.
Didn't notice when the
Rebalanced.
research thing went off. Oh well, that's fine. I want even more economy. I want all the money in the world.
So is the builder body left alive?
I think it's alive without him toasted off.
Yeah.
I will say I have periodic lag spikes. Is that normal?
Possibly. It could be the save. Could be lots of different things.
Because like every so many, it's the same amount of time in between. It just freezes.
If it's every 2 minutes, then that's what it is. Otherwise, it could be an AI spike. It could be the logging. I mean, I do that on my own end.
Okay, I'm going to possess the honor guard there, I think.
No, it's definitely not every 2 minutes.
Alright, then I don't know what to tell you.
Is there a way of telling if a ship is possessed by somebody already?
No, we went over this.
I'm sorry.
But like, let's put it this way. I think Adam and Ernest have already grabbed ships, so if you're looking at the ships that are floating directly above factories, they're all up for grabs.
Good to know.
So, like, there's looks like another Ad Infinitum, another honor guard up there. I've got lots of honor guards coming.
Alright.
What's the kill enemy button on the nav screen? Alright, Mark IIs are done.
So is game over because someone's being a dick?
What's going on?
I'm hearing constant laser fire, but I'm not doing anything myself. I'm just observing.
Yep, we're dead. Game over. Congratulations. You realize we're still trying to figure this out, you know.
What do you mean?
What's part of the sentence that you understand?
What are you trying to figure out?
Never mind.
Okay.
Well. So I guess I'm turning off the server.
Okie doke.
All right. Why don't we try this again with the idea that we're actually trying to get something done rather than screwing around?
Hmm.
Well, at least there wasn't a problem with all the missiles. So I think it's probably missile bases. Because it didn't sound like everybody was crashing out.
That is true.
Now,
Yeah,
Jordan,
that's all.
again, I want to ask the question. I'm still trying to understand how you got the base up. Because I simply did 2 research centers, and I still had to start to mine everything. And that's why I was delayed. So I don't understand how you were able to get the full city up and running, and I'm still trying to get the one of the buildings up, and then all of a sudden you have all these ships out.
So what did you have built before it started mining?
Like I said, I did 1 reactor, 2 research centers, and I did a mine, and then when I did the refinery, it had to actually manufacture the ore for the refinery.
Okay. So it's possible that I had the same thing. The difference is I built a refinery first, and so I also was like focused on the research screen at that moment. The thing is that even if it is stopping to mine, if it mines and then sends it to the refinery, my process of getting my next building up is going to be much faster than yours because the refinery refines ore much faster than your builder bot does, is what Adam once said.
Yeah, but that's not how the game works. It doesn't send the stuff into the refinery.
Why not?
Because the refinery only takes ore from buildings, not from builder bots.
Then I don't know what to tell you, Arthur. I didn't make the game. My process. I build the refinery, then I did a mine.
I'm going to go that order, and I'm going to check the asset screen, and if it actually is hooking it up from that, that's something new to me. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen that way.
I started doing that specifically because that was what I was told would go down. Is that it would mine up the ore and put it in the refinery, and the refinery.
No, I
would
never said that. That's not how it's supposed to work. Doesn't mean that's not how it is working, but
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
no. That's
I
not.
mean, maybe Adam said it, not you. It doesn't matter, but it was said. Now 2 of us are saying.
Yeah, I understand that, but like I said, I wrote the damn code. It's not set to do that, but if it grabs it because it's in the vicinity, then that would explain it. It's not supposed to do it, but doesn't mean that's not what it's doing. So who else is supposed to be coming in?
All right, I'm relaunching.
I think I fixed my lag issue.
What was your lag issue?
My laptop runs a power management thing in the background. I forget to close it. If I don't close it, I notice sometimes it causes lag spikes every so often.
Okay.
So we'll see. I think I got it. That's good. Make sure that's what it is.
Fair enough.
Joining the server.
Oh, are you coming in?
Yeah, I'd forgotten to quit, and it didn't quit me out when the server went down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all set.
Should I put something in the server to send a kill to all the clients and then get the acknowledgement before it itself removes itself?
Yes.
I would.
Yes.
That's probably a thing to do then. I know it sends a kill switch, but it may end the server program before everybody receives it. So it looks like everything's here. So
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's an instant termination. Sometimes it takes a bit. Sometimes it doesn't do it at all.
yep. Well, that's timing wise on the network. Because it doesn't wait for it to say anything. It just kind of does it. All right. So Matt or Ogre, I don't care who. Matt, since you're going to be watching these things anyway, when I'm going to do the reactor to research centers, but I need someone to look in the asset screen to see if the mining I'm doing after, I guess, the refinery gets up is actually refining the ore that the builder bot's refining.
Gotcha.
Because if that's actually what's going on, it's not supposed to do that. But we also know that the find box will find wherever it can find it locally.
This is true.
So if
Okay.
that's what's actually happening, it's not supposed to do that, but doesn't mean it's not doing that.
Hey, Adam, you building that small starter ship?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, we also need a design coming up. So, all right. So the first um, research center is coming up. So that's up. So since they're going to try to Zerg us, just go as quickly as you can with this kind of thing. Okay, first research up. Second research.
Okay. Refineries are researching.
All right.
You not build a
Okay.
reactor, Arthur?
Yes, I built the reactor. That was the first thing I built. It's always the first thing I built.
That's all things you said. You were talking about, me going faster than you, but you said first research up before my reactor finished.
I'm on my second research at this point.
Right. I just finished my first research center.
Okay. All right. So refinery supposedly the next one. That's not out yet though.
About 5 seconds.
All right.
Go.
So there.
Yep, you're good.
All right. Well, it's not seeing it, so let's try that one.
Ernest, you adjusted with the money?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So this is the last of the probably inbuilt money, and so it's building the refinery now. So the next thing you have is a mine. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
1 second.
I'm very
5
curious
seconds on that.
what this actually looks like.
Basic beam ship design is complete.
Thank you.
All right. And okay, so now I'm gonna go build a mine, and let's see what the asset screen tells me.
Yep, I'm watching it.
All right, so I see the ore being mined,
Yeah, you've got ore.
but I don't see any RMs at all. Meaning I don't see the
Yeah.
which is fine. That's the way it's supposed to do it. I don't see any
Okay,
installation.
now I'm starting to see RMs.
But now but that's what the
That is the builder bot now?
that's the builder bot doing it, I would think. Yes, this is what the builder bot is doing. So so it is working the way it's supposed to be working. It's not the way Jordan thinks it's working. Because I'm seeing both boxes there. So one's the RMs and one's the ore. So the refinery's not doing anything right now. Speaking of which, you're going to need to... Oh, I already did that. Never mind. Now, Jordan, on your end, is it doing both boxes or not? Or you don't know?
Seem to really be doing boxes. Again, I'm doing my research and my building, but it seemed to just go and build what's up mine.
Yeah.
Could be also to remember I do reactor, refinery. I do a warehouse as well. Maybe the warehouse is weird.
Where is he getting all the money from? No wonder we're getting screwed because you're not.
I mean, it's pulling ore from the warehouse right now.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have had enough to build all that. That's my point.
So
Warehouse
refineries
very
don't pull
cheap.
from boxes.
It
but
doesn't
does the
matter. You don't
warehouse?
have enough to build all those buildings. That's what I keep on trying to say.
Okay, please stop yelling at me while I attempt to help test the game, Arthur.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm saying that you're stating something, and I see that it's there. You should not be able to do that. You insisting you should be able to do that does not make it correct.
I'm just telling you what is happening.
Yes.
I don't know why or how. That is not in my domain to know. By the way, for our team, we have a factory.
Do we have shields?
I'm working on it.
I mean, I don't even have a warehouse, and I had to. That doesn't make any sense.
Arthur,
Yeah.
is there something weird in how it calculates how many resources they had?
No. The only way that would actually happen is if this builder bot came out with more inherent inbuilt RMs in it.
There are
not.
shields and autocannons now.
Roger.
I mean, that's really the issue here, is that when a builder bot comes out, it has a certain defined amount of resources. That's an interesting point. Matt, is there anything in the scripting that would cause this? That would change that number for him versus myself?
I wouldn't think so, considering everybody. I mean, you're running off of the same scripts everybody else is, unless you made changes.
Well, what I
to the
mean
information.
is that I didn't know if there was something in the tutorial or something else like that. But what's happening is his builder bot is starting either with more resources. All right, now I'm very curious. I mean, okay, since we're not that far into the game, I'd like another restart. And Jordan, I want you to keep building.
Okay.
Don't even worry about putting down like a mine at all. I want to see how far you can get before all of a sudden you have to do boxes.
Okay.
Because if you can start putting down a factory and a refinery, or actually just keep cranking out research centers if you need to. Now we have a factory at this point,
You
but
want me to do my normal order, but don't build a mine?
don't build a mine. And let's see, because I did the same order that you built things in, and I didn't encounter the
I forgot to
glitch.
mention the warehouse the first time. It's reactor, what's out? Research, warehouse, refinery.
Reactor, research, warehouse, refinery. All right, I'm going to quit out of the server. Let's try this again, and I'll do it in that order and see if that creates. Warehouses don't come with anything, though. That's not how they're built that way. They're empty.
But let's apples to apples as much as we can and have direct comparison.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the warehouse. It's an afterthought at this point. You have to keep in mind also when it comes to like this is what I've been doing like every week for like 3 months now.
I
don't
understand
even
that.
think about the order anymore.
I greatly appreciate that. But like I said, the server's going, it's like, okay, the server's up. I just don't understand how it's possible. Ernest, did you select the scenario?
No, I did not.
All right, you might want to change your ship again and then try it again.
Yeah, I noticed it popped up with a bunch of ships that were shipped in there, so I just got to ask you that question.
Yeah, because someone had clicked on orbital capture the flag, and that's why you were able to select the ship, and then sort of that can create some little wackiness.
Sounds good.
You know, I didn't want to have that be a problem. That's a very interesting bug you might have found there, Jordan.
I'm ready.
It's very perplexing.
How does the warehouse pull in items? Would that be pulling in from boxes?
It shouldn't be. It's not that wherewithal. Everybody's in?
I'm still joining.
Okay. I will say this, that the system does, the warehouse does redirect everything. So, all right, just so I understand, Jordan, it's reactor, research, warehouse, and then?
And then refinery, and then mine.
Okay.
And then from there, I assume it doesn't matter because I have an economy at that point.
The only thing that I can think of is then it does actually do what you're talking about. All right.
Is that it pulls it directly into the warehouse, and then it goes to the refinery?
Yeah, what happens is because there's a box locally there, maybe it actually uses the box in the warehouse to put the ore into, and therefore it creates RM straight off the bat. Let's check that. Adam, I assume you're in?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so same test, Matt, with the checking in the asset screen, what's going on.
Okay.
So let's do the same build orders, Jordan. Jordan, you love finding exploits. You might have just found another one. I know you were doing building builder bots because they all start with like a certain amount rather than building the rest of the buildings. Alright. And I'll try for the next time to make sure we all start out with the dummy ships rather than the armed ships. since that's a little bit more fair. Then that way there's no other issues.
Okay. Center, first research center ordered.
All right, we're getting some music bleed over from somewhere.
I'm sorry. Let me mute myself.
Thank you, Paul. All right, Matt, the first research center's up.
Yep. Refineries are researching.
Okay.
Okay, I just started building my second research center.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, you've got refineries.
I just started the warehouse.
Okay, now I'm not even going to research mines yet.
No, do research mines. We need the
Okay.
mines because that's the test. We're still gonna. All right, the initial test is to see whether or not. See, this shouldn't even happen. I don't know how it has enough money to. Well, then Adam might have put it in that kind of category, I guess. All right, do we actually have?
I just ordered a refinery,
Mhm.
and it does not look like it needs stuff. It's not mining. It's just building the refinery.
That's correct. That's what I've been getting.
And that's after the warehouse. Now you say you do not want me to build a mine.
I'm gonna. All right, we have two options here. We can build a third research center, or we can build a mine. Which one do you want to do? Actually, let's. Should we build a third research center just so we can have it?
Sure.
And then
Can we look at the asset screen and see if we have enough to build? What we have enough to build versus
we
what-
can't tell. That's the problem. We don't know how much is in there. So I think research centers are supposed to be cheap. So I guess here's the real question: if I build a thing right next to everything, meaning a research center, let's see what happens. If it builds it,
We're running out of power.
well, that's a thing too.
What do you want me to build?
It's mining normally. So I did a research center.
Do a research center then.
So if you do a research center, does it go straight, or do you actually see? I'm
It's
mining.
It's running over to the area,
Okay.
Okay, I see
and it
you
just
have
starts building it.
ore, Arthur.
What's that? Yep. Well, basically, for whatever reason, you have unlimited RMs.
Unlimited or just more?
That's a good question.
Find
Build
out.
another research center. Jordan, would you build another research center,
I'm
please?
working on it.
Okay. So if you go in the asset screen, how much money does it say you have?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's zero right now. It's been zero for a while.
Oh, now it's actually mining.
Oh, there it goes. He's got 161 raw materials.
Okay, now it's
That's
mining.
wild. That means you actually start with more resources than we do. Because we built the same amount, and it started to mine on the third research center.
Fourth.
For you, it's fourth. For ours, it's still working on it. It hasn't even built the third one yet.
Right. It just built the third for me. Now it's starting to mine on the fourth.
So, alright, let's count up the buildings. We have a reactor, 2 research centers, a warehouse, and a refinery on our end, and it's mining for the next one.
Same thing, but I have one more research center, and it's mining for a fourth.
Okay, I have a theory.
Okay.
Let's quit. Put Paul or somebody on our team, and then try it again.
What do you think? Alright, that
Oh.
that
I mean,
shouldn't matter?
Because all of us start with no resources,
No,
correct?
Yeah.
It shouldn't. But what other differences are there?
All right. No,
Talk about
I'm
that.
game. I'm game. Paul, do you want to come to our side, I guess, or somebody else comes to our side on
Yeah,
Alpha?
that's the other thing I could think about.
Okay.
Is the resources of each player gets added to the one spot.
Um, uh, but everybody's right. You don't start with any resources, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we do start with something. So
uh, yeah,
They do
Ogre's
have
not wrong as far as testing goes, but it shouldn't work that way. But how many times have you done testing where it shouldn't work that way and it does? So,
exactly. That's why I bring it up and say we should try it.
all right. So servers back up. Let's test this. So,
Should I
Alpha
quit out?
team, yes.
Yes, quit if you haven't quit.
Quit if you haven't
Okay.
quit. Servers back up. And let's put 4 people in Alpha rather than 4 people on Beta.
All right then.
But like I said, that explains a lot why you can Zerg over, because having an extra building at the beginning of the game is a massive advantage. Because if you can do the hat trick of getting your resource system up, where you have a mine refinery and the whole kit and caboodle, that's massive. You know, as far as time difference goes. I was still building that 3rd building.
Okay, I'm on Team Alpha now.
Okay. So everybody's ready? Everybody's in? Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. Let's roll. Oops. Derp. Okay, so if I build a reactor, now I see all 4 of us here. Let's see how far we can get without.
Yeah, that's really all we want to test to see how far we get.
Yeah.
Four on one team.
So let's do.
So do the same thing. Build
Same thing.
Reactor, research center, warehouse, refinery, and then just keep building research centers.
Yeah.
while
So
you do that, I'm gonna step away for a second.
Matt, would you be so kind as to research the refinery, please?
Yep. Well, as soon as you get a research center up.
Just thinking about it.
Almost there.
Yep. Now one could argue that what should the starting amount in the builder bot be? Should it be enough to could do a basic city? How much of it should it be due for mining? That kind of thing. That is a discussion of itself. I agree that it'd be very boring to start the game where you have to wait for the damn thing to mine and you can't, don't have anything else better to do.
I think that's partially going to be a question of multiplayer versus single player versus different options that want to be put in.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you have a thing, you probably have a little slider saying, okay, what should the starting resources be?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind
You
of
know.
like think of the customizations in Moo.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably 100% right there. Okay. So now, whoops. All right, now I'm doing a warehouse. Now, it's definitely not, at this point, doing oh, I see there's stuff in a different area, and that's the problem. Meaning that the refinery is refining things, if you know what I mean. I don't think that's what's happening at all. What the hell? That's very interesting. It actually put down just enough to do the refinery. That didn't happen before. I was able to do it pretty instantaneously, but that's where it is right now.
So we are getting some kind of multiplier for the extra player.
I was put down the refinery, and now I'm doing the research lab.
No, no, actually, Matt, that isn't what happened. I mean, something different happened, but if anything, we're out of money. All right, I'm now doing the third research center.
Okay, it's now mining for my research center, for my 3rd research center, like you described.
And it's definitely mining for this one, for my 3rd research center. Now that is very, 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 very strange, though.
And now neither of us have an automatic third research center.
Right.
I don't know.
1, 2. You got the same buildings. Although your third research center's done already.
Yes, but it did create a box.
It did create a box, but we're still mining over here. It's not even. You still
You're
have
correct,
more,
it's finished.
huh?
You're correct. It is now finished, but it also, took longer. Now it's doing it. Now it's mining for a fourth.
Okay, we're still working on our third. It's doing a conversion right now. So somehow, definitely, your team is starting with more resources than the builder bot somehow.
Don't know.
I don't know either. That's I guess with the monitor we can, as testing, we can see how many resources the builder bot is carrying. That would make sense for a normal readout anyway.
My fourth research center is done.
Gods. We're still working on our third. So
Wait, Jordan, what do you see on the? Oh no, I'm on Arthur and the others team now. Never mind.
the only thing that could also make any sense, or if you're mining, okay, how quickly is it? Oh gosh, you're even building it already. You're in your fifth.
Yep. It was about 4 or 5 seconds of box mining. I'll do a proper timer now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not starting with the warming. Maybe my builder bot just fucking mines
It's.
like a dwarf on cocaine.
I think so. I think the multiplier is set differently for your builder bot than ours.
Alright, 1002, 1003, 1000. It's already refining. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, and building. 12 seconds with boxes, and then it started building.
Oh yeah, whatever's going with your builder bot, you already have a super builder bot. That's what's causing the problem. It's the
My
multiplier.
builder bot loves me.
Evidently. I'm still working on mine. I am not kidding. It's still sitting there.
Is this something with the like the ships that we start in have
Moment, that's curious.
more crap than have more weapons and such than what is actually current in the game? When the scenario was built, was something done that the builder bot for the other team would be more buff with more stuff in it?
The only thing I can think of is okay, so now our research center is finally done. Literally just now it finally finished.
I am building my 7th.
Right, that we just got our third one down.
7th
Literally. Alright, stop for a second. Don't build another one yet. Could someone on Jordan's team go into the assets screen
I'm
And-
there right now.
and look at Jordan's red personnel
I
bar?
have 4.13 ores and 0 refined materials. But briefly,
Yep.
I had some refined materials while it was doing the build.
Alright. Yes, thank you.
I've been watching this the entire time. What's your question?
Yes, thank you. The look at his personnel bar, and you said how much ore and refined materials does he have?
4.13 and 0.
Okay, Jordan, I want you to build your next research center. It should cost about 1,500. Now the rate should be about 10 a second. At least that's what we have on our side. How
No,
quickly do you
it's-
see him
it's a
build
lot
his?
faster- It's a lot faster than 10 seconds.
Okay.
Go ahead and build something. I'll count
It's
it.
building.
I have an idea. Matt,
Hold on.
Mhm.
It's 97 right now.
Matt, what I want you to do is I want you to order a research center being built.
Okay.
So, as a note, Arthur, since something you want to know, my ores dropped to 3.79. My RMs have become 97.79,
Yep.
and now it's building the research center. And now it's done building the research center. And
And
then
it's
it's
ore
dropped
ref-
back down to 4.26 ores and 0 refined materials.
Okay, so Matt may not be the best thing because he also is running code, but Ogre or Paul would be the best person to test this.
What do you want me to do?
Do you know enough about the nav screen to build a building?
think so.
Okay.
Let me.
Build a research center, please. So just click on the, double click on the builder bot, click on build, click on research center, and then right click somewhere on the surface. And yeah,
Build research center Mark 1.
yeah. And then right click somewhere within the green area.
Okay. I did. It's moving.
Okay. Oh
Doing the
God,
thing.
that's what it is. That's what it is. So Matt, it's the guab is grabbing from the wrong spot or something, or what's in the scripting guab is a different ratio than what's in our local set. Because
Yeah.
Paul is already up to 1,000. He's doing more than 10 a second. All right, and now it's frozen.
Okay. Yeah, I just crashed out.
Of course.
Did that at least free people up?
No, because it's still frozen on our end. Who else crashed? Hello?
I'm
I'm
still in
still
the
up.
game.
I'm still in.
Yeah, I'm still up.
I'm relaunching, standing by for when to rejoin.
Well, I mean, does everybody else pause too?
I mean, I haven't told
I can-
anything to do anything, so I can't
Well,
tell.
you look at the Omni Ball. If it's spinning, you're not paused. If it's not spinning, you're paused.
Now
It's
I'm
spinning.
paused.
It's spinning.
I am now paused.
I'm not paused.
All right. Well, all right. Ogre, can you do the test since obviously Paul's? I exited out.
I'm back. It was a temporary pause.
Well, it's because the server's dead, gone now. All right. I guess we don't get the multiplayer 3. Okay. So what's happening is somehow the refining rate is different with the external was the tech web sent out, or we work on a different tech web than everybody else, which is very possible. Adam, did you update the tech web very recently?
Not for that. Those rates haven't been touched in months.
Okay. But that's what the problem is that the builder bot rates are different somehow. Either because it's coming from the script being different, or... Alright, I am now in. I'm going to go to the asset screen because I want to see what's going on.
Can I rejoin or should I stand by?
You can rejoin. Ogre,
Okay.
could you do the honors in this case?
I'll do my best.
Alright, there you are. There's Ogre. So server's back up. It's like it did not make any sense to me why Jordan should be like kicking through all these buildings and kicking our ass so badly. It's like, what the ever leveling, whatever. And it's like, okay. It's definitely a ratio thing. I don't think you were starting with any less or any more resources, but your rate is literally 10 times what it is ours. We get about 10 a second, and what I was observing from Paul was about 100 a second. That's a 10 times increase. That's significant. So, Ogre, are you in yet?
I'm in the screen, presumably trying to build, but I can't place it.
Right click.
No, I've got. It's like I'm in the middle of the model, actually.
Okay. Hit B twice. Just double click B twice, just so it centers on that, and that usually helps. And then you might want to rotate the angle so you can see come down on an angle, so you can place it easier.
How do I rotate the angle and such?
Hold down the Shift key and then W and S. You can change the angle. You can also do it with the right mouse button, but I think once you're in build mode, that doesn't work anymore. Which is kind of something we have to talk about one way or the other.
I think you changed controls at some point, and I never reset them because I had mine set the way I liked them.
All right. Hit cancel.
Already did.
Cancel thing. Hold down the right mouse button to rotate your angle.
Yeah, no, it's not working for me. Like I said, I think you added controls and I never set them.
All right. Well, Paul, do you want to do the test again? Because
Build another research center or something?
yeah.
All right, then. All right. Back in here. Research.
And hopefully, it won't crash out the system again, and we'll see what happens.
And right click.
Yeah. Well, it's got to get there, and then we'll start doing this thing.
All right, let's
Yeah,
see.
40, 90, 140, 190. So maybe it's 40 a second, but still. 290, 334. I'd be doing 10 a second, man. This is going like crazy. This is like 50 a second, maybe?
It looks like 50
Yeah,
seconds.
it counts pretty fast.
Yeah. Now, he crashed when it got to like a little over 1,000. Okay, so it's still going. And you get to 1,500, then it's just start converting the RMs, which it is now. That's why all those other buildings, even reminding, was just chugging through. Matt, could you do me a favor? Once this is built, could you do the same thing?
Okay.
And I want to see your rate, since you actually have running code versus what this is. Now, this won't, obviously just wait for Paul to be done, but this won't take very long.
Indeed.
7, 8, 9.
And having an interesting little navigation or like user interface situation where I keep trying to zoom in on the city and it keeps bumping me back.
I'm well aware of it. It's one of the things on my list.
All right, then.
Now, what's interesting is his conversion is appropriately slower.
Yeah, it's just sitting here kind of chugging through now.
Now it's 10 a second. Okay. Matt, is there a possibility, because I know Paul's running on an internal and Jordan's running on an external. Ogre's running on an external. Who else is external? Obviously no one else on our team.
Just Ernest, I think.
Yeah, external.
And Jordan's on the external. Okay. Ernest.
Yes.
Oh, we can't see it on the live stream, but everybody else can see it on your team. Could you order the builder bot to build a research center and see how quickly it is requesting the ore, and more importantly, how quickly it's converting it to RMs?
Sure thing. Let me figure out how to get back to the base.
Well, you can do it. You don't even have to, as long as the builder bot's there. Just double click on B, and it'll recenter on the builder bot.
Double click on what? I'm sorry. B?
B is in boy, or B is builder bot, honestly. In the nav screen?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. See, Jordan will already be done by now.
Yeah, I just messed up my view, so hold on. It keeps zooming me out.
Hit F12, hit F11, that should reset things.
I do, but when it shows me my base and it shoots me really far away.
Try zooming in, scrolling in with the mouse wheel. I found helps out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mouse wheel is not responsive.
Because I guess, like Ogre, you never set up your controls for it.
I mean, that's the thing that's happened to me too, but I have not
No,
found a reliable way to fix it.
Whoa, now I'm looking at this. This was working before.
Okay, Arthur, I'm about to build a building if you want to
Okay.
go look in the asset screen.
I will, actually. I'll check it out right now.
I'm watching as well, so.
And there's Matt. Okay, go for it, Matt. Now,
There you go.
No, every time I zoom in, it keeps snapping me right back out really far.
So far, the only thing I've found that consistently fixes that is a total game
Yeah, I'm
reset.
getting about 50 per second here.
alright, I couldn't hear anybody there.
I'm getting like 50 per second.
Well, that's for mining. I'm curious. I think that's pretty fast. I got the feeling the conversion to RMs is about 10 a second. Jordan, could you do yours again? And obviously we can't see what you're doing, but could you tell to do uh, a research center, but then go into the asset screen, watch your bar, and see how quickly you're going through it. See, now Matt's going at 10 a second as well. The problem is the people who are running the outside set are, because they haven't reset their controls, they can't test this, unfortunately. And if they go into the configuration screen and do reset their controls, they'll have to reset the joystick up.
So, Ernest, I'm also getting the bounce out of space thing, but there is the way around it is to go out of the nav screen, go to the sim screen, go back to the nav screen, and then just you can still tell it to build things. Just don't touch anything with your mouse.
Okay, let's see.
And then honestly, now that I've done that once, it's fixed. So I told it to go build something, so you can't tell it to do things now, but
And in the asset screen, how quickly is it converting from CMs to RMs? Or excuse me, ore
right
to
now it's
RMs.
building up ore.
How quickly are you getting ore? About 50 a second?
Something like that, yeah, 50 a second. It is converting 10 a second.
Well, that makes no sense unless you're. How high did it get to with the
1500, which is atypical to the previous set, as I was telling you before. The ore previously, when it was doing this, the hyperfast would be at 4 point something. It would go down to 3, and the RM would go up to 97, and then it would build the building, and the ore would go back to 4 point something, and the RM would go to 0. So this is actually the first time that I've actually, while we've been testing this, watched it convert ore to RM. It usually goes by too fast in the past.
Oh, I know why this isn't. This is an invalid test. Everything's now working the way it's supposed to because we loaded from the save game. That's why, because it sent all the stats across when you got the game state. So now it's building the actual thing. I'm telling you because it's all I can see what's doing now. All right. So unfortunately, we're going to have to retest this again. I quit out of the server. Although it's 5:30, I don't know how many people want to go on this. But what the test is I'll bring the server back up again. Is from a straight run. Either someone else who has things set up correctly come on the alpha team, so either Ernest or Ogre if you want to reset your stuff, but I don't know if you have time for all that.
I'm gonna reset my
Arthur,
controls
I have a
right
quick
now.
and easy way to test this if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Start the game with everybody joined.
Yep.
Can you do a manual save?
I can.
Load it, and then see if Jordan can do the speed thing again.
Okay, that's fine.
It seems like a fast way to test that. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. All right, servers back up.
That way, it doesn't matter who's on which team.
That's true.
Do I need to erase the controller config for the defaults to work, or do I need to just?
No, you just click on the defaults and hit save. I think it's defaults apply, then save.
That's what I did.
But then it's going to wipe out your joystick if you don't reset it.
I don't have a joystick set up, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. What we're trying to see is whether or not if one of the files got out of sync between the internal release versus the external release that other people are using. Jordan's on the external, so you as an Ernest, and Ogre on the external release. But Paul and Adam are on the internal release, I'm pretty sure. Matt and I are running the outright raw code. So that's not as much of a test. What we're trying to see is... Excuse me?
I have to actually head out at this point. Is that all right?
Yes, Paul. See you later.
Okay,
Thank you for
thank you very
participating.
much. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we're waiting for Adam and Ernest.
User disconnected from your channel.
God, do I want to be on alpha beta?
Beta.
Beta's fine. Whether or not we can watch you or not, we're just trying to see whether or not if we're getting the situation.
You need to make sure there's somebody on both teams to kind of watch. So
Yeah. So I guess we're just waiting for Adam. Okay.
I'm in.
Alright. Adam, do you want to come on Alpha Team just so we can use you to build a building?
That's fine. I'm on Alpha now.
Okay. Just so we can actually watch it on live stream and see what the deal is. Okay. So I guess we start. Alright, so build that thing. I know you want to test the other thing, but I just want to see, because we're all here, and this will be very quick. I just want to see what will happen if we build all this real quick.
So do you want me to build or not?
Yes, yes, most certainly. We need to build same order as before. So reactor, so it'll be reactor, research, warehouse. Matt, if you could do the refinery, and then just build more research centers. But at that point, Adam, you should know. I presume you've been building buildings before, yes?
Yep.
So if you do it, and you're on internal though, I think. But at this point, I don't think it's going to matter. Well, that will prove something. Whether or not if you decide to build a research center and it goes very quickly, whether it's the client issue or it's the internal versus external set issue.
true.
And then we can do I'll just hard save it, come back in, and if someone on our side exhibits the speed ability to build things, and then we do a load save, I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen in that case, because I know that that's being sent across. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up right to the point where we know it's going to do its thing. All right. So warehouse. Let's put this right here. And Matt, you've researched the refinery, right?
4 seconds.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Now let's do the refinery. And then once that's done building, I will save it. Now this time it didn't go to boxes, it straight built it.
Okay, just finished my refinery.
Alright, so did I. I am now
Finish now.
clicking save. Alright, Adam, if you'd be so kind, build the next research center, please. And we're going to watch to see what happens here.
Building my research center.
Can you go into the asset screen to see what their speed? I assume you're mining?
Yep. It
I'm
is
looking at the
mining.
asset screen right now, and it's moving pretty quick.
How high did the ore get to, and then how quickly did it convert from ore to RM?
It brought the ore up to about 240 and is converting 10 a second.
Yeah.
I'm watching what Adam does here. Could you build another one, since just building 10 a second for you, which doesn't make any sense, but build another, I presume you're done already.
It's building the research center. It only created 250 RM.
Okay.
And then it finished it. Animation's a little weird, but okay, yep, it's done.
And he should build another one, please.
Okay.
Now, Adam's getting 10 a second on it. On the conversion. Now, I guess what that means is, by definition, it started with a different cost. Or
nope, it built up to 251 again, and then it starts converting it 10 a second over to RM.
All right, then.
So my building costs me less.
Your building costs less. That means you have a different tech web. That means the tech web that is on the external is different than the internal one, Matt. Is the only thing that makes any sense. Okay. Literally, his research building costs 250. What's that?
I'll check it out.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we were able to solve that one, because it's not the rates. It's not that he starts with more money. It's literally the tech web he has says that. Okay, actually, here's the thing. Jordan, please go into the research screen. It will be under researchable items down below.
Research Lab Mark 1.
Research Lab Mark 1. How much does yours cost?
1,500.
Frack, because mine says 1,500 too. So...
Yeah, I'm looking at the tech webs, and they're all from the same time. Hold on.
So as if your source is freaking fracking. Alright.
We currently have multipliers on for the building, right? So it doesn't take as long as it normally does. Is that perhaps not being applied evenly?
Well, here's the problem. When he goes to build the research building, it's only building up to 240 or 250 before. So that means the cost of the building for him is 250.
251 if specifics matter.
Well, there you go. But
another weird thing is that after that, it hangs at 4.25 ore.
Well, that's just there's always I always leave an overhang of 5. So.
The tech web is definitely the same. I tried copying our version into the release folders, and it's marked as already committed, so they're definitely all the same.
That's wild. Ernest, can you build something and then can someone look at Ernest's assets and see if it goes up to 1,500 or if it goes to 250? Because you're on the outside.
What's that build?
A research center. That's the thing we're testing against. Ogre Adam.
I'm about to build one right now.
Okay.
Cool. When it starts moving, I'll check. When the builder bot starts moving, I'll check the asset screen.
Yep.
All right, I'm clicking, but nothing's happening.
Right click.
Yeah, right click.
All right, it's moving. Find Ernest. Okay, I'm watching Ernest.
All right, see how much those ore builds up to, if you would, please. I resume mining is like 50 a second.
Okay, he's built. Yeah, it looks about 50, and it built up to like. Probably it's gonna be 251 again, but it looked like 245, and then it started converting it over. So.
Mine said 253 before it went to convert.
Right. So.
Okay. Who else is on your team?
No one.
Oh, it's just the 2 of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so much for that test. All right,
Yep, 251 RMs.
All right, I'm gonna save. All right.
Do you want to save while it's mid-building animation?
It doesn't. Well, fine. I'll wait. See, the wacky thing is, Matt, can it be a Guab thing? Meaning they have a different script update? I don't know what would cause it.
Done.
All right, building's done. Let me go save it again. All right.
And we quit.
We quit. I'll bring back up the server. That's manual 9, so I know what I'm bringing in. And then either Jordan or Ernest see what the cost of the tech web is. Now you both looked in TechWeb, and the cost for the research center was 1,500. So that's not it. I don't know what would quarter it like that. It would make sense if the acceleration was on, it would go all the way up. If you know what I mean, it would just get there quicker, but it would be the same number. That would still make a lot of sense. I don't think that's what's going on. Somehow internally, it thinks it's a different cost. All right, we're pulling in 9. All right, server back up.
Arthur, I checked all the scripts too. They're all the same in all 3 versions.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't changed any of the major scripts
Yeah, well,
since last month.
right. That's the wacky part. All right, like I said, server's back up. Jordan or Ernest, do your
I'm
thing.
back in.
Okay.
Copy builder bot. So
Now
you want
was-
me to first check the research screen?
Check the research screen. I'm sure it's going to say 1,500. I'm sure that's not really the issue.
It does in fact say 1,500. Okay. Grab a builder bot and build another research lab.
Yeah, someone check the asset screen to see how quickly it's building up, or what's the
builder
cost.
bot's moving, so I'll watch the asset screen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on our end, Adam, you didn't have the problem here. You did the slow version too.
Yeah, it appears so.
Building up.
All right. Now at this point, I would not.
Now gone above 250.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So what happens is on a clean run, somehow internally the cost of the research center for an external thing is quartered, actually more than quartered. And it's basically 250 for a research center, which also explains why you can build so many other things before you run out of money, because
Well, it might also be that the others are lower too.
that's also possible. How would you? And the wacky part is, all right, when someone joins and you're on the join screen, it doesn't send across the tech web. When you come back in to get a game state, it does. So that means somehow, and it's only affecting the outside ones. Meaning, Ernest gets it, Jordan gets it, but Adam does not get it. If you know what I mean. Okay. I don't know. The only other thing I can suggest is see if it's a beta problem. Did anybody with internal go on beta and see if that's the issue?
You can go on alpha.
Well, meaning that would be the last test I would want to do before everybody keels over and tries to kill me. Is to go back out, go back in, have Adam be on a different side, meaning on beta, and see if he gets the speed up issue. If he doesn't, then it's an external versus internal. But I don't know if we want to keep this on the live stream. With this.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. At least we know what we're doing. Sorry we dragged this out so much, and I'm sorry I got so annoyed. It was just didn't make any sense to me. Still doesn't make much sense to me.
But at least now we understand the pattern.
Yeah. And people wonder why some of the other game engines or some of the games out there have some weird, wacky bugs that never seem to get fixed. Because sort of like, wow, you really gotta sit there and go completely crazy about debugging why something's happening. And it's just completely whacked. Oh boy. Alright, so again, I apologize for my frustration. It's just sort of like it just didn't make any sense. But at least now we know what's going on. I mean, even now you're still building out there. I can see that.
Just finished refining to 1,500.
Okay. But now it's taking normal time. Or at least what we experience, if you want to define it as normal time. So why would that... that's just ah. Okay, well, I'm not going to continue doing this, so I'm going to exit out, and we can do this offline. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry this went as late as it did, but hey, I think today at least we were getting some gaming in. It was just sort of like, it was frustrating being literally trounced. I didn't understand, how are we so far behind? Well, now we know. What I was hoping to do, which didn't really happen too much, the people who actually got to fight, how was the speed in which, I mean, the dogfights didn't really happen too much, but I did see some of it. Did you think it was balanced? Did you think the armor was too high, too low? What did you feel that was appropriate?
I think it's probably a bad comparison because it seemed like it was like taking a long time to like pound on Adam before he blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But with the discrepancy in materials costs, they might have gotten a lot further tech wise and such, and they'll kick out bigger ships faster than we were. So it's not a really good test.
How expensive were your ships?
I
They're
can say,
cheap.
yeah, I can say for a fact that I came over there with a ship basically a ship that had 1 armor thickness, and I was basically essentially firing missiles and shooting directly into your factory.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 2 ships that were on me trying to kill me while I was doing that. They got to the point where I literally just planted my face into the factory and was firing. They were firing on me, and I was still able to kill the factory and get away.
Yeah, I was watching that.
That was I was one of the people on you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We did not research any superior armor.
Yeah, that was with armor thickness 1. That was even with the reduced armor. Like, I reduced it from last tech web by a factor of 10.
Well, there's your. That actually gave us good data because that's actually what Adam needed.
Here's the question: what were you firing at me?
I think we had 1 or 2 guns. How many guns did your ship?
My original 2-beam ship.
So 2 Orion Mark 1s then in each ship. So roughly, I had about 2 ships, 4 Orion Marks 1s in pairs coming after me, and they still weren't able to breach my internals, even with that minimal armor.
Yep.
I was moving around. I wasn't trying to be like stationary, so they couldn't basically just basically hit me in the same spot. But I still thought I should have been taking way more damage, considering I was basically a sitting duck at that point.
Yeah, I mean, a normal dogfight. Yeah, go ahead.
I stopped moving. I just sat there and kind of went, okay, he's there, he's moving, okay, tracking, and it still took forever. Like, it wasn't even moving on my side to throw aiming off.
Yeah. Conversely, I think the turrets are either basically too strong or just right, because I would literally just fly by and they would basically like cut right through me. And I lost like 3 ships that way.
Turrets, and actually that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, as I said early on, I want the turrets to overwhelm a single ship, if not a couple ships, because they should be a good defense, or else what's the point?
Yeah, but I think that might be too strong. Like one turret could with that strength could easily take out basically a fleet, even like a small fleet of like 5 fighters at tier 0 without breaking a sweat.
It was a very short route. It's like pretty much the beam just started to sound when I was hit. There's no way to evade it. It was instant outage of my engines.
Yep, I had the same thing 3 times in a row. Got close, killed my engines. Nothing I can do about it. I literally could not get into attack range, even with the longest range weapon that's available in the game.
And honestly, that's what's supposed to be. Now, whether or not they're completely overpowered or not, that we'll see once we get a fleet going.
Yeah, if that's unfortunately, that completely invalidates any kind of basically like early attack strategy.
Well, no.
Turrets and you're basically safe.
If it depends how many turrets are out. I think a good test would be to redo this, have 5 ships, and have that attack the other person's base with a turret there, and see how quickly it does it. I mean, turrets will only be able to handle 1 ship at a time. If it does a shadow attack and he's able to munch, then you're 100% right at him. If it goes, I'm beating on 1, I'm beating the other 3 escape, that kind of thing, then yeah, it's kind of okay for what it is.
Well, I don't think escape's really a factor, because really the point of coming over to the base is to basically blow up their facilities.
Yeah.
So and the buildings are sufficiently chunky. I feel that's about right. It takes a while to basically blow up a building. Like I came in with actually a 4 missile ship,
Mhm.
and that did a pretty good job of basically blowing up the buildings. I basically would fire a volley of 4, it would hit, do significant damage. After 3 or 4 volleys, I took out a building. I felt that felt pretty good.
Okay.
That's really what the missiles are meant to do, is basically really demolish standing targets.
Mhm.
So I felt
Kind of
that
opposite experience. I fired several volleys at one building. It did 0 damage.
Well, I was watching that. You look at that in the stream replay. The missiles weren't getting there. You fired them way too early.
Yeah.
Okay, what about when I fired though? Like I was very close, and I hit it with 2 volleys, easy, and they all landed, and it did. And no change in the health bar.
Weird.
What were you hitting?
Yeah,
You were
same thing
hitting
with
the
me.
turret, or were you hitting one of the other squishier
Reactor.
buildings? Okay. Well,
I don't
I
know.
was
It
doing
did
the turret.
no, like at that point you said, okay, now it's hitting. It did nothing.
Weird. I estimated about 20 missiles. 20 missiles was enough to take out a factory. Basically, 5 volleys of 4 each.
but I was watching you, and maybe I was watching somebody else, but they were firing at the turret.
Yeah, I wasn't firing
Yeah,
at
that
turrets.
was me.
Okay,
I was
that's
firing
what.
at a reactor.
Okay, then I wasn't watching you then.
Well, then it was a funny coincidence because at the point where you said now it's hitting is also the point where I got close enough to see, little sparks.
We'll have to go to the videotape, so to speak.
Yeah, he
It's
did say
possible,
that
also,
just as
honestly,
my-
that the terrain was body blocking for that building.
It's possible. I mean,
Because when I got close, I realized that building was almost entirely covered by the mountain.
yes,
So it's possible the terrain was body blocking.
pulses and missiles will blow up on contacting the ground. You'll figure. Ernest, you were saying something?
I was just saying that just as you said you're now hitting, I know I saw my turrets, the missiles hit the turret and explode. But it didn't do much damage when it did hit.
Okay. Like I said, we'll have to do. We're gonna have to sort of sit down and actually create these scenario tests for these things to see what's actually happening. At least we know what's going on with the Zerging, and sort of like, okay, well, it's not just me. I didn't like having it's all of a sudden like there's like 30 ships come over the hill. And it's like, what the hell? I'm still working on my next building. Now at least know what's going on with that. I think from experiences that people had that I should default the armor to 1 thickness right this second, maybe, and see how good or bad the weapons are. I think Adam has some more damage data now.
Probably need to do a similar default on the shield.
Yes, well, most certainly.
In our previous plays, the AI
Okay.
that was up against. Can you hear me?
Yeah, someone's like blowing something up.
Well, the AI we were up against would always outbuild us. So it's got to be, or is was the AI designed to do that?
No, it wasn't designed to do that at
We also
all.
found a different exploit on that.
Oh yeah, that's a different thing anyway. But I think it may be that the secondary team, that's what it is. I mean, like I said, there's other things I wanted to test about that. But it is what it is right now. Alright, well, boom. It's very pretty when things blow up, I'll give it that. Wow. Ah!
Unless these lasers are weird, that was unusual. I was firing from like 4.8 miles away. 4.8.
There's a bug in the thing that it extends, if it knows you're hitting the ground, it extends the range.
Oh, okay, that's still present. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't fix that, so
Okay.
your stuff gets hyperextended. It's kind of creepy that way. So yeah. Especially also the original beam ships are not actually, they're running at a much higher damage ratio anyway. So that's good. We got some really good information for Adam. We found a very, 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 very strange and upsetting bug, but okay. And so yeah, now we know what to do about changing the defaults, and now we know what to do about some of the other building stuff, and that's good. More of this is what's going to be happening over the next, well, from now on, honestly. And this whole thing, once I get the whole thing where you get out of the current sector, where you don't necessarily know where everybody is, so you can't just zerg right across like in 30 seconds, that'll be a thing too. So, again, I thank everybody for showing up. I'll cut the stream, but let me quit out. And again, thank you very much for hanging out and help testing this, because this was actually something I've been wanting to do for the last month. And I think we did a very good job today. So again, I thank you everyone for putting up with my frustration, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, thank you all.